Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Gamestack Podcast. Right here on We Just Love Games Network. I am glad to be home, glad to be back with all of you lovely listeners on the show. I'm your co-host, Vendertron. Also joining us this evening, as always, is Shaline.
Hello,
Hello, Shaline.
hello.
Thanks for holding down the fort while I was away.
I missed you so much,
Yes,
buddy.
yes, I could tell that. I could tell that you missed me when you were having some technical difficulties.
Oh, that was the worst.
I
I
go
was,
away
I
for
was,
5 minutes.
I completely forgot how to do those things.
I
It
was
had just
kind
been
of
so long that you'd been
yeah
doing the behind the scenes part.
yeah. I don't know. It's just naturally we've fallen into these roles within the
Yes.
show, and I think that I probably should have checked with you to see if everything was tweaked
Well,
and calibrated just the way you liked it. So
vendor, I thought I was ready. I really did. I had practiced. And I thought, yeah, this is fine. And Sherry was running a little late. And I thought that's fine. We'll go ahead and go live, and I'll just adjust her picture on the
right,
fly.
right.
It'll be fine. It was not fine.
It was not okay.
It was not fine, but it was fun. It was fun.
Um,
So
so the show was good. Thanks to the Dames for joining us and joining Shaline on the last episode. I wish I could have been there.
hmm
I
we'll
really
have
wish
to
I could have been
schedule
there.
another when you can be here.
Yeah, yeah. But if you are listening live, welcome to the best little corner of the internet on a Friday evening. You're listening to episode 133, Stache It, and we would like to mention before we start the show this evening that GameStack Podcast is sponsored by Oak and Crow Coffee. If you head on over to oakandcrow.com, you can pick up a bag of We Just Love Coffee blend, and $2 from every purchase goes to the Children's Miracle Network. And the second thing we want to mention tonight on the show is that it is Movember. Movember. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Movember, it is a month-long awareness campaign to raise awareness for men's health all across the world. Specifically, it started out raising awareness around prostate cancer, but it has since grown to raising awareness around mental health and suicide prevention, as well as testicular cancer. And we'd like to point your attention to a specific foundation geared towards Movember as a campaign. If you go to Movember.com or ca.movember.com, you can donate, and your donations go directly to helping women's health or men's health. Actually, I think that it also goes towards helping women's health now as well, which I think is really nice. And the cause of the Movember campaign specifically is that there's obviously a growing number of men around the world, about 10.8 million globally, who are facing life with prostate cancer diagnoses. And also testicular cancer is the most common cancer among young men, and across the world at least one man dies by suicide every minute of every day, with males accounting for 69% of all suicides. And so Movember is uniquely placed to sort of look at this crisis and raise awareness on a global scale, and they work towards funding groundbreaking projects all over the world, engaging men where they are to understand what works best and accelerates change. So once again, check that out. I will post the link in the chat for anybody who's interested in donating, and we'll just sort of be pushing that for the month of November, of course, because why not? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else you want to mention, Shaline?
No show next week. We're both out of town.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to drive to Calgary on Monday, and I just looked at the forecast. They're calling for 70% chance of snow, and it's going to be minus 30. So
Gross.
I'm not looking
No.
forward to that 3.5 hour drive on the highway. It's going to be a disaster.
What's if that's normally a 3.5 hour drive? I'd say you should plan for like 6.
Yeah,
It's gonna be snowing and
Yeah. You know those videos of like cars in the ditches like for miles and miles
Mhm.
and miles and it says Alberta something? That's the highway. That one.
No.
So I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Maybe
Yeah.
you can go the night before or something.
I am going the day before. Yeah, because
Okay.
I got to be up at 8 a.m. for meetings. I
Yeah,
have a full day of meetings on the 8th. So,
try and get there while it's still safe.
yeah. And where are you off to next week?
I'm going to Phoenix to visit Archon. So
Oh,
yeah,
well, that'll
it's
be
just a
much
vacation.
warmer.
Yes, it will be nice and toasty. It will be like weather for capri pants and sandals and stuff. I'm very excited
White
about it.
capris, perhaps.
No, no, I am not so bold as you are, dear. Um, yeah. No,
Okay,
no
yeah.
ordering pasta and white capris for me.
Can you please do that? Can you please do that? Just do it and then see if Archon notices and says anything. Let's start a trend. We'll start a movement.
That's so funny. So funny. I'm just not so bold as you.
uh, well, anyways. Yeah, I guess we should do a show, hey?
If we
So,
must.
normally I would say host us, but you can't do that anymore. So tell your friends about the show. Check us out on all the other affiliated podcast platforms. Stitcher, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google, Apple
Share
Play.
us on social media.
Share us on social media. You can also follow us on Twitter at We Just Love Games. Shaline at Shaline L and myself at Vendertron N. But what about the Discord? Discord is also our community that keeps the wheels turning on the network after the show when we're not live. And what's going on in the Discord? I missed a lot while I was away.
You did miss a lot. And something that happened recently is per the request of a few of our listeners, we added a family gaming channel that is geared towards
Oh,
gaming with children.
okay.
And there were some discussions happening in there about how to start your kids gaming, what kind of games are appropriate for your kids, that kind of thing. And it's a fun time. It's a very relevant topic for many of our listeners. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's nice.
good.
Yeah.
Mhm. I
Okay.
really enjoy the Discord.
Oh yeah, it's like the first place I go to.
It's a
You know when
haven
you
from the
get
rest
up
of the internet.
and you're starting the day and then there's like all the places on the internet that you've got to check out. Like for me it's like email, Twitter, Reddit, Discord, WJLG
Mhm.
Discord. So, yeah. So if you're interested in joining the Discord, you can and you're listening live right now, you can scroll down below. And the link is there, or you can just navigate to our Twitch page, twitch.tv/We Just Love Games. But we do have quite a show and a lineup for you. As always, our favorite part of the month, the new releases. And so we're going to cover that. We're also going to talk about our gameplay. We got some information about the stocks and what's going on there. And a backlog of screenshots and stories, as well as mail to get through. But this just in. Now, do you want me to do the new releases?
I think I'll take them this month if you don't mind.
Okay, you go right ahead.
Okay. First off, as always, shout out to Joseph Tao, RIP to Joseph Tao's computer.
Oh,
We
what
love you.
happened?
Thanks for helping. He said that Microsoft borked his computer in one of those Microsoft updates that you're forced to get. So I think that's happened to you in the past as well.
Twice, Shaline.
Twice? Ooh.
Twice that's happened to me. But I was lucky enough that I didn't lose my game files because I've got them on a separate hard drive from the operating system.
That's good.
So
That's good. I think Joseph is primarily a PlayStation gamer, so hopefully he didn't lose too many game saves or that kind of thing.
hopefully his work stuff wasn't on there either.
Ooh, yeah, that could be bad.
Yeah.
But we're going to start off with the November new releases, and it is quite a list this month. Some of them I'm excited about. We've got Endling. I need to zoom in on this because I am an elderly lady.
No, the font is just really small. You're not old. It's just really small
let's
font.
See here.
Let me help you out with this.
Okay, let's see. Like view. Oh, you're just great.
There
You're
you
the
go. There
best.
you go.
Thank you. Endling dash Extinction is Forever comes out on the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S on November 3rd, also on November 3rd, which was yesterday. You can get Ghost Song on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and PC.
Hmm.
How to Say Goodbye on Switch, PC, Mac, iOS, and Android. The Chant, which looks incredibly scary on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. The Entropy Center on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. The Entropy Center is one that I am highly, highly interested
Entropy
in.
Center.
I didn't realize this game was already out, or I would have played some. It is heavily inspired by the Portal series.
Oh, yeah, this looks
And it
good.
also has a time shifting mechanic that reminds me of the time travel level in Dishonored 2, which
I
was
like
an
it.
utter masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a real winner, and I want to check it out. WRC Generations is out on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, the Series X and S, and PC. And on November 4th, that is today, you
Ooh.
can get Demon Throttle on the
Oh
Switch.
my.
Yes, that sounds like a whole thing. Harvestella on Switch and PC. I hope this is about a farmer named Stella. It Takes Two, which was last year's Gamestack
That
Game of the
would be
Year.
so fun on the Switch. I should
Uh
get
huh.
it. I should get it for Carlo for Christmas, and then we can play it when we're in
Oh, that would
California.
be so fun for you and Carlo to share. We need to finish it first, though, before you guys go.
Yes. Okay.
I've been wanting to play it with Archon too.
Uh,
Um,
I like how
on
we
no,
we put each other.
yes,
We
before our
we
significant
we are
others.
more important than our significant others. Yes. That's friendship.
On November 8th, you can get A Little to the Left on PC and Mac. Just a little to the left.
Okay.
You can. Are you doing a Google?
I gotta look.
Football Manager
Oh my god, what
2023
is
is available
this?
on Xbox, Switch, and PC. Oddworld Soulstorm is coming to the Switch on November 8th, and Return to Monkey Island will be debuting on PS5, Xbox Series X and S on November 8th. What have you found out about A Little to the Left, Fender? I must know.
It's like an OCD dream come true. So like it's literally fixing game stacks. Um
Ooh.
fixing books,
So you're
sets of
just
books.
straightening things,
Yeah.
making them tidy.
Yeah.
Oh, this sounds like
And then I
serotonin.
mean there's a cat, so I don't know what that means, but
I'm
it
sure the
sounds
cat
like
is
it's
gonna like
a
knock your
bad
stacks
thing. Yeah,
askew,
yeah.
and then you'll have to fix them again.
Yeah.
Ah, this sounds
Oh, here's
wonderful.
the cat. The cat. Okay, so the game is centered around the cat. Well, that looks intriguing. That looks intriguing.
I'm for it. So, also on November 8th, you can get Sifu on the Switch, Sonic Frontiers on the PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and PC. And on November 9th, the game that I have been waiting for, my most anticipated game of the year, God of War Ragnarok. Yes, this is a PS4 slash PS5 exclusive, and I cannot wait. I am so, so excited. I am a little bummed that I will not be home with my PlayStation when this one
That's
launches.
right.
So,
You're
yeah,
gonna be in Phoenix. But
I thought
does
about
Archon play
packing
God
the
of War,
thing.
or can you just like commandeer his Steam account?
He doesn't have a PlayStation, and this one's not out on PC
Oh,
just yet.
well.
So I did consider packing the PlayStation, but that thing is so big.
You
It's just so
don't want to
big.
take that through
And I'm going on
security.
a plane, and like
No.
I already I have too many things because I overpack because it's who I am.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll just have to play it when I get back. I'm very excited.
Are you checking a
Um
bag?
oh, I'm sure I'm gonna have to check a bag.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Maybe I won't, because we'll have access to laundry, but
I have risen
we'll
above
see.
the fray and come out triumphant. I traveled to Europe for 2 weeks and I didn't check a bag.
I am so impressed with
I
that. I
didn't
am
check
so
a bag.
impressed.
It was amazing.
I'm so impressed.
So
I am a chronic overpacker. It's a problem. I keep thinking, well, what if I need this?
what if I need this
Or
plunger?
yes, exactly. What if I needed the kitchen sink? And like there's that one time in your life that you do need the thing and then you have it, and that justifies
Yeah,
the
all
way
the
that
other
you are.
times. Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
I'm ridiculous, but
Yeah.
I will almost certainly check a bag. On November the 10th, you can get Vampire Survivors on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S. And on November the 11th, you can get Atari 50, the anniversary celebration on
Cool.
PS4, PS5, Xbox One Series X and S, Switch, and PC. I hope that's like the 50 best games from Atari. That would be great.
That would be cool, like a pack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 2 is coming to the Switch on November 11th. And Tactics Ogre Reborn will appear on the PlayStation 4, 5, Switch, and PC. On PC, you can get Valkyrie Elysium. I wonder what that is.
It's like anime Final Fantasy kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. Uh, Valkyrie Elysium is also on PC on November 15th. Which is it, Joseph? Is it the 11th or is it the 15th? I am confused.
We can blame that on the Microsoft glitch. Yeah. Joseph Tao is usually more astute than that.
Yes, it was probably the Microsoft glitch or something. But on November 15th, Pentiment will be coming to Xbox One, Xbox Series X, S, and PC. And I am so excited for this one. This is another one that I cannot wait to play. It comes from Obsidian. It is an Obsidian RPG. And the style of this, the art style, is like medieval paintings come to life. And I just, it's for me. I am the target audience for Pentiment. Can't wait.
Yeah. It's
Mhm.
it kind of gives me the vibes of Kingdom, no, not Kingdom Hearts, Valiant Hearts.
Kingdom, oh,
Valiant
Valiant
Hearts.
Hearts.
Yeah.
It's sort of Valiant Hearts meets Kingdom Come.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh wow, I didn't know this existed. Smurfs Cart will be on
Oh
Switch on
my
November the
god.
15th. I
No.
Smurfs Cart.
Oh my god.
I
Are you
just
ready for this? Are you ready for
I was
this?
born ready.
Once we get through all the damn ads.
Okay.
Okay, I want to
Smurfs Cart.
oh my god, look at them.
Oh, look, they're so cute. Smurfette has a little pink car. This is adorable. Oh my goodness gracious. Their hats blow in the wind. I love it.
Look at her drifting with her flower wheels.
I love it. Oh my goodness. I hope that Gargamel like pops out and tries to eat them. The Smurfs is such a weird thing that it exists. Oh, Papa Smurf is really getting after it there.
Yeah, look at him picking those
Taking
berries.
a shortcut.
Yeah, this is good.
Nice. Papa Smurf is
I'd
not
like to
messing
play
around.
that. That would be
I
really
think
fun
we
on the
should play
Switch.
Smurfs Cart. This sounds like a great plan.
Yeah.
I'm for it. I was a big Smurfs fan
Wouldn't
as
it be
a child.
What if I just like bought a Switch just to play Smurfs Card?
Smurfs Cart system seller. Gamestack Game of the Year 2022.
Yeah, it just like pummels everything, like PUBG, like the PUBG era. Oh man.
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, if Smurfs Cart is not your thing,
those racing games, you got to be careful. They get you.
if Smurfs Cart is not your thing, which I can't imagine, you can check out Somerville on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Ys 8, Lacrimosa of Dana on the PlayStation 5 on November 15th. And on November 16th, you can get Call of Duty Warzone 2.0 on PS4, 5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and PC. Goat Simulator 3 will be out on November 17th. I didn't know there was a second one.
I had no idea.
That will be available on PS5, Xbox Series XS, and PC for all of you Goat Simulator aficionados. And Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales will be coming to PC on November 18th.
Excuse me.
That one comes highly, highly recommended by many people that I trust and value their opinions. So it's something I'd like to check out. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet will appear on the Switch on November 18th. Also on the Switch, if Pokemon is not for you, you can play Resident Evil 3. That's your alternative for the 18th on Switch on November the 18th. The Dark Pictures anthology, The Devil in Me, comes to PS4, PS5.
This actually looks quite good.
Vendor, I really think these Dark Pictures games would be fun for us to play together.
I'm getting like the Council vibes from this kind of style, and it's very cinematic. I like it. I
think this series would be a great choice for us to play together as a story game.
Yeah.
Someday when we finish Life is Strange: True Colors.
And It Takes Two.
And It Takes Two.
And I think there's another one on there that we forgot about, but
potentially, yes. Evil West is coming to PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and PC on November the 22nd.
Is
also
it a Western?
On November the 20th. Well, I would assume so. Evil West.
It's co-op.
Is it co-op? Let's see what this is about.
It's very like.
That is very over the top.
This is the cinematic trailer.
Okay.
Let me just skip to. It's very
Scroll forward to gameplay.
I think it's like Hunt Showdown with like mythical creatures, basically. No, because Hunt Showdown is
Hunt Showdown is mythical creatures too.
But it's also like a battle royale. This is different. This guy keeps coming back into my life.
I mean, we all have one of those, right? Like, this is like a hedgehog man that this guy is fighting.
I don't know. Those guys look cool. I think, you know what? I bet you Rick, we're going to get a random message from Rick on Discord one day, and he's going to be like, you guys, Evil West is the best game I've ever played in my life. And then he'll talk about it for about 2 weeks, and then that'll be the end that we hear of it.
What?
Just like Valheim, and just like, what was that other one that you played with the giant crab?
The giant crab.
This feels like a Rick game.
Elden Ring? Was that Elden Ring with the
Elden
Ring?
Crab? Yeah.
Yeah. He did play Elden Ring for a pretty long time though, to be fair. Yeah. And
he's not even here to defend himself.
I know. The one I was thinking of was New World, that MMO.
Yes.
He started that and got Archon to buy it and join the right
that's what he does.
Server and guild and stuff, and Archon's like, okay, I'm ready to go. And Rick never played it again.
Oh. Well, maybe he just got busy. They have to go back to it. But I feel like Evil West, I feel like that's a game Rick would probably play. It's a Rick game.
It might be, yeah.
Anyways.
It looks a little cartoony. We love you, Rick. You're not listening because you don't listen to this show. But we love you. We miss you. Come home, Rick. Gungrave Gore. And this is G.O.R.E. So Gore is some kind of an acronym. That will be available on PS4, 5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and PC on November 22nd. Or you can play Just Dance 2023 on PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, and Switch. I guess they've finally stopped supporting the Wii on Just Dance 2023. They were releasing this on the Wii.
Oh, really?
Pretty recently. Still, yeah.
Oh.
So... Ship of Fools is also available on the 22nd, PS5, Xbox Series XS, Switch, and PC. And on the 29th, you can get The Last Days of Lazarus on the PS5. Sable is also available on PS5 on November the 29th, along with The Night Witch, which is also available on the Xbox One, Series XS, Switch, and PC. On the Switch on November 30th, you can play Front Mission First: Remake, and also Gundam Evolution on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S. Also on November 30th on PC, Warhammer 40,000 Dark Tide. And those are the
How
new
do
releases.
like there that's a lot of games.
It's so many games.
How do studios make any money?
I don't know. Maybe they don't.
Cuz like
Um,
of all of these games, how many people are going to play Warhammer 4000 or
I
well,
bet a bunch of
Warhammer's
them.
pretty. Okay, let me
That's a
take something
huge series.
um
Yeah.
the Last Days of Lazarus, which is
Yeah.
a console exclusive for PS5.
I don't know how big that audience will be.
I don't know.
There's really no way to know. Maybe it'll be a runaway hit vendor. You never
Maybe.
know.
Yeah.
It might be the next Inside.
Yeah.
What is the name of that game that I was looking forward to? I wanted to just make a note. The Entropy Center.
Entropy Center.
I want to remember to play it. Okay, I've made myself a note. Jot that down. Now, if I don't have money to buy all of these games that I want to play, I have some alternatives because there are some free games available out there in the world.
I like free.
Who doesn't like free?
Right? Tell me.
PlayStation Plus is offering some free games as always in the month of November. Those are Neo 2, the Lego Harry Potter collection, and Heavenly Bodies. These games will be available from November 1st through December the 5th. On Games with Gold, you can get Praetorians, the HD remaster, from November 1st through 30th, and Dead End Job, available November 16th through 15th.
I don't need a game to play that one.
Exactly. Whew, that one hits a little too close. On Twitch, Amazon Prime free games, you can get Fallout New Vegas Ultimate Edition. That's a GOG version, so that's pretty great. You can get Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
What?
Yeah.
This is on Xbox?
No, this is on Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
The Twitch Prime free games. So
But what do you mean? Like what
do you mean?
I don't know. Like is this a new game? Indiana Jones?
Oh no, it's not new. These are usually older games. Facility 47, WRC 9, Etherborn, Whispering Willows, and The Last Day of June.
Nice.
Yes, that wraps up our new and free games of November.
Excellent. Do you want me to take the news stories?
Please, I'm exhausted.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I wasn't exactly sure. Well, thanks for taking us through all of those new releases. It's always a marathon going through those. And I just got to get past this ad blocker. So let's hop right into some of the news stories that are coming down this week. The first article comes to us from Screen Rant by Sarah Smith. And she's talking about how the Fallout creators are praising the show's faithfulness to the video games. So as you may already know, co-developed by the masterminds behind Westworld, Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy have embarked on a new series, which was announced in 2020 to commence production as early as July of this year for a Fallout TV show. And it's obviously based on Bethesda game franchise Fallout. It's set inside an alternate timeline where nuclear war has ravaged the world in the year 2077. And teasing the show's similarity to the video game specifically, there was a recently released still image showing a silhouetted figure arriving at the entrance of Vault 33. And the three of its inhabitants were dressed in blue jumpsuits, and they sort of looked onwards. And the series actually stars Walton Goggins, who is in an undisclosed role, also accompanied by Ella Purnell, Kyle MacLachlan, Zelia Mendez Jones, and Aaron Moten as well. And this is a new featurette from Prime Video, and it's going to be the upcoming Fallout series, which I think is kind of exciting.
I'm so hopeful about it.
And so, in discussing the franchise's future, Bethesda art director Istvan Pili said that he was blown away by the television adaptation's fidelity to the video games themselves, stating that the series was sticking with their original visual designs. He also added that it was very reassuring that he and the other creators of the video games had got it right the first time. And so, just in a full quotation here, he says, "So I've actually been kind of blown away by how much they've stuck to the original versions and design of the visual side of the world building in video games. Directly translating that to screen, it's sort of, reassuring that, well, we got it right the first time. Like our approach to Fallout was correct and is the way forward, even making the jump to another medium."
Mm-hmm.
And so, if you're interested in watching an exclusive bit of a documentary on the Fallout series, it's called Beyond the Game. You can watch it on YouTube. And, this article also goes on to talk about, like, what about the show? The show's faithfulness to the games means for the story of the game itself. And so it's not really officially released around the plot of the Fallout series specifically, but each video game has followed a very similar kind of story arc, right? You're released from somewhere, you're this lone wolf, and traveling this travesty devastated wasteland, which sort of situates you into this position of resiliency, and you meet people and create stories along the way, and that's just the immersion of it, right? The games themselves, of course, Shaline, as you know, vary in date and location. And they've all sort of centered around different protagonists emerging from the vaults, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, as we wait for the official Fallout TV series, they will likely be. I think that the story arc, and this article sort of talks about it as well, that they're likely going to be reassured by Peely's assessment that the source material is being respected.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And, I think it's no, what's the word? Fallout is no stranger to its fan base, right? It has a very loyal following since the launch of its first game in 1997. And it has grown exponentially through that time. And there is a lot of speculation as to who Goggins' character could be, or how it could deviate from the protagonists of the video games themselves. There's been some hints that he will depict an irradiated human known as a ghoul. But the confidence sort of shown by the original creators will certainly quell the fans' excitement and things like that. So, and we've talked about and shown some of the images from the filming sets of where the Fallout show was being filmed, and it looked like the Super Duper Mart. Looked awesome.
I think they're doing a great job with the aesthetic.
Oh, it was just great. So yeah, and what are your expectations from this?
I don't really have expectations per se, but I am growing gradually even more optimistic as we learn more and as we see more photos from the set and of props and that kind of thing. I hope they really capture that thing that has made us all love Fallout, that darkness that is mixed with that humor and whimsy that make us love the wasteland. I really hope they capture that. But I'm very hopeful so far. I think they may be doing it right.
Yeah, well, it's nice to know that they sort of tried to capture the original essence of the games themselves,
Hmm.
because we've seen in the past how that doesn't work out if you don't do that.
Right.
Halo, The Witcher actually was, I would say, kind of successful, um, but it's actually they're changing the main character.
Yeah,
Um,
they recast Henry Cavill. I'm
it's
not
gonna
sure what's going
be
on with that. Liam
Liam
Hemsworth.
Hemsworth,
Hmm.
who played Thor.
No,
No,
Liam Hemsworth is the brother of the guy who played Thor.
that's what it is. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
This is the one that was married to Miley Cyrus.
Correct. Yes. So, anyways, not that it matters because I'm not going to watch The Witcher. So,
Really? You haven't watched The Witcher?
no, no.
Oh, it's so good. Really good.
Well, I mean, you like The Witcher, Shaline, and I know that you also like God of War Ragnarok.
I do. I'm going to take this next article if you don't mind.
You go right ahead.
Um,
You go right ahead.
yes, I'm so excited. This next
Oh,
article.
hold on.
Ooh,
There we go. We're
that
good.
okay.
Just
God of War is
just
just
priming
busting
you.
busting
I'm
down the
priming you.
doors. Yes, that was a cry of excitement. This article is a review roundup for God of War Ragnarok. And I just wanted to very, very briefly just go over the fact that it is scoring very, very well in reviews. I think that's what most of us expected. The 2018 game was just marvelous, and we have high expectations for Ragnarok. But this is being hailed as a wonderful, wonderful game. GameSpot gave it a 90 out of 100. IGN gave it a 10 out of 10. Games Radar a 4.5 of 5. MMORPG gave it a 10 of 10. VG 24/7 a 5 of 5. Game Informer a 95 of 100. And The Gamer gave it a 4 out of 5. Um, the Game Informer review, I'm just going to read a little bit of this. God of War Ragnarok feels a lot like God of War 2018, which is a compliment considering how fantastic that game is. Sony Santa Monica was right not to break what wasn't broken, and it has expertly continued the story threads that were left hanging from the previous game.
Nice.
So I can't wait. I'm so excited. Yeah, that's that. Carry on.
Great.
Rest of the news. I've had my fangirl moment.
I definitely I'm the type that is a kind of a slow adopter of games now. I've been
Mm-hmm.
burned a little bit too much in the past.
Yes.
But God of War, I think I'm ready to play the first one.
I think you should. It's so
Yeah.
good.
So I'm gonna add it to my wish list and watch for sale and pick it up on a sale.
What if it just appeared in your Steam library
I
one of these
mean,
days?
if you do that, I'm gonna have to make Deep Rock Galactic appear in your library. You get what you give. Come on. um, yeah. Speaking of making waves, um, there's a video was recently released from a NASCAR driver who used I don't quite know how to explain this, but I want to bring it up on the thing. It's okay. So
Yes, I've seen this video.
there's this video circulating of this NASCAR driver who literally used a video game race car stunt by using the sidewall of the track to sort of fast track his way to the front of the race itself. And this article comes to us from Kotaku. And they just talk about how video games can really teach you how to do some crazy things.
He totally edged out that guy in the FedEx car. I bet that guy's furious.
Yeah, and I just thought that was so funny that we should probably talk about it. It was originally spotted on Eurogamer. This was during the final lap of the NASCAR Xfinity 500 driver Ross Chastain, who pulled off the impressive stunt. Had people looking on, where he got up to high speeds and slammed his car into the wall of the raceway, riding it to leap from 10th to 5th place in a matter of seconds.
Bold.
This move actually let him advance into the next stage of the championship, which he would have otherwise narrowly missed. Chastain even had the best final lap time by a margin of 2.5 seconds. So, yeah, I don't even know. It's so good. And when asked, he said, "I played a lot of NASCAR 2005 on GameCube, which I had growing up." And he also said you could get away with it in the game, and I never knew if it would actually work. I mean, I did that when I was 8 years old in the game, but I didn't think it would actually work in real life.
That was my favorite part of this whole story. It was something he did as a child on GameCube.
Yeah. He also explained that he wasn't sure who was in the lead and talked to his crew before making the decision to recreate the maneuver that he had previously experienced when he was younger. The driver himself said that, once he got against the wall, he basically let go of the wheel.
So he was like, "Jesus, take the wheel."
He let go of the wheel, and he held down the X button, and just let it go. And he hoped he didn't catch anything sticking out of the barrier, like an excess gate or something like that. Obviously, it would not be very, very good. But he said he was willing to do it to secure himself the position in the championship, which he did.
Achievement unlocked. You got yourself on the leaderboard, friend.
Yeah. Soon after he pulled off the wild wall slide, others online began recreating this in various video games. Fellow NASCAR driver Chase Briscoe shared a clip on Twitter of him trying and failing to do the same move in a game. Meanwhile, professional sim racers shared a clip of themselves pulling off the dangerous move in iRacing, a hyper-realistic racing simulator. Now, Shaline, I want to show you the view from inside the car here.
Ooh, I'll bet it's terrifying.
So, hold on. I just want to mute it and then make it full screen so you can see it. But this is the view from inside the car, okay? So he's, just going, and let's go the wheel.
Holy shnikes.
And that's crazy. And he does it again.
Wow.
Anyways, I just thought that was such a great story to talk about. And I love that he used his video game experience to obviously not setting a good example, right? So yes,
we should not drive
kids out
in
there,
real life the way we drive in video games.
When you get your license, don't do this on the freeway. Please, don't do this on the freeway. This may have worked in the racetrack in this one instance for this one driver who is very experienced, who made a good judgment call. But it will not work in your Hyundai Elantra on the I-10, okay? So,
oh man, I just love picturing somebody in their Chevy Malibu being like,
that's gonna be a new news story, right?
oh my goodness, that's gonna be the new Pokemon Go walking in the walls.
Oh, yeah. There's even more good feel-good stories coming out. So the next one here is from Wired, and it's written by Swapna Krishna, and it's about Star Trek. Do you like Star Trek? We all love Star Trek, right? Have you watched Star Trek Prodigy?
I haven't. I've never heard of Star Trek Prodigy.
So, Star Trek Prodigy is a animated series of Star Trek. It is the latest Star Trek series to be released, and it includes Janeway as an animated character. Mm-hmm.
Did they bring Kate Mulgrew to voice her?
Yes, they did. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and so the animated series is geared towards all ages, and it's set between... I'm not entirely sure. I've watched a couple of the episodes, like the first and second episode, but it's actually so good. And
is Janeway still the only way?
The Janeway is the only way. Yeah, she really makes the show. It's actually breaking into the TV franchise is actually breaking into the video game world. Or sorry, it's breaking the video game curse in the sense that it's well, I'm not entirely
Is it
sure.
getting a good video game adaptation? Is that what you're telling me?
It's I it's so Supernova is sort of the it's like the spin-off of Star Trek Prodigy. It's basically a video game spin-off from that show. And the article goes on to talk about how it's got really good game mechanics, fantastic characters, and it actually feels a little like the story arc that could happen on Prodigy itself. And you don't really need to play the game to appreciate the show, but you can certainly appreciate the show more if you do so. And
Wonderful.
yeah, so obviously, this person has played Supernova and just talking about it and saying, it's a very rare game to tie into a TV show or a movie that have the level of support that they had. And the scriptwriter for Star Trek Prodigy Supernova goes on to say that they were really given scripts for all of the episodes. In addition to scouring those scripts, they also worked with Lisa Boyd, one of the show's writers, to make sure that the game's story would jive with the overall Prodigy universe itself.
That's
But
great.
according to Boyd, they nailed it. It was presented to she goes on to say it was presented to me as already a very authentic Star Trek story. I didn't really need to do much except have Dal and Gwyn flirt a little bit more. Those are two characters in the Star Trek Prodigy world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so it was kind of exciting to see this. I actually found the story because I follow Kate Mulgrew on Twitter.
Okay.
And for those of you who don't know who Kate Mulgrew is, she is Captain Janeway. Um, she's also had other prominent roles. I think she's been in Orange is the New Black and some other things like that.
Yeah.
She's actually also written books. She's got like 2 autobiographies or something.
She voices a ton of audiobooks, and
Yes.
she was one of the main of a very, very important character in the Dragon Age series.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And
mhm.
she's just a lovely human being. So I follow her on Twitter because she's always tweeting great things. And she was talking about this. I'm like, oh, we got to talk about that this week.
So Vendor, if I wanted to watch Star Trek Prodigy, where would I find it?
Well, I think the only way you can watch it right now is through Discovery
Okay.
or
Okay.
like Disney Plus, Disney Discovery Plus, whatever it is. If I recall.
There are so many streaming services nowadays. We may as well have just kept cable.
Yeah. Um, I mean, I would look it up, but you can, if you're
Okay.
listening, you can just look it up. So basically, it's Prodigy is actually Nickelodeon and Paramount.
Oh, okay. Is it on
Yeah,
Paramount Plus?
because they go on to say that they
Tasman says it's on Paramount Plus.
Paramount Plus. They go on to say that they contacted dozens of people working multiple times a week with Prodigy Networks, Nickelodeon, Paramount Plus to get things just right to make sure that the gameplay actually fit. The team also paid special attention to the audience of Star Trek Prodigy. They wanted the game to have an appeal similar to the show, making it really enjoyable for all adults and children. And
Mm-hmm.
so, yeah, Star Trek Prodigy Supernova. Check it out if you are a Star Trek fan. And yeah, I wonder if you can play as Janeway.
I don't know. That would be interesting.
Yeah. Anyways, on to our second last story of the evening. I was actually going to include this in our game science segment, but I figured let's just throw it in the news. Because why not? So, a new study published in the Journal of American Medical Association Network Open Access, written by Bader Sharani, talks about the association of video games with cognitive performance in children. The study itself actually talks about what the association between video games and cognition in children is specifically. And, most of the research that we know that has linked video games to increases in aggressive behavior in children um, has actually sort of been a little bit debunked, right? We've talked about this previously on the show, and so they really wanted to set out and try to understand the association between video games and cognitive skills, and examine that association using data from what they call the Adolescent Brain Cognitive Development Study, the ABCD study. So in this study, what they did was they looked at cognitive performance and blood oxygen level dependent signals, or bold signals, which were compared in video gamers and non-video gamers during a response and working memory using task-based functional MRIs in a large data set of 9 and 10-year-old children from the ABCD study, and then, of course, the appropriate controls for that. And participants completed a self-reported screen time survey, including an item asking children to report the time specifically spent on video games. And the fMRI tasks were performed by all participants. The main outcomes that they were looking at included time in video gaming, cognitive performance, the bold signal assessment, as well as the fMRI. And basically what they found was that children who participated in the study went on to exhibit better cognitive performance involving response inhibition and working memory, as well as they played video games, and they showed how that correlates with key regions of the brain, like the cortex, for example, which is responsible, as you may already know, for visual, attention, and memory processing. And so these findings are actually consistent with video gaming improving cognitive abilities that have involved response inhibition and memory tasks and things like that that's been previously shown. So I thought that this study was actually kind of important to talk about because it actually demonstrates and reassures our findings that video games for kids are actually a good thing. We've shown that video games.
So interesting.
We've shown that video games improve dexterity. We show that video games can improve mental health. We've shown that video games can be a useful tool for treating post-traumatic stress disorder and other mental illnesses. And that one gap that we've always tried to be figuring out is whether or not video games make us smarter. Though, based on the last statement that I just fumbled through, you could argue that the games I play really aren't helping. But anyways, so this study is, it's available, it's open access, so you can read it online if you're interested. All you got to do is go to JAMAnetwork.com, and you can look up the article yourself. It's called Association of Video Game with Cognitive Performance Among Children. Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
Well, I feel like it's really nice to see some scientific studies that are not just doom and gloom.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like so many times when we see gaming featured in any kind of news, it's always like, video games will rot your brains, they're evil and turn you into a serial killer. And of course, we all know that's absolute nonsense. So seeing the scientists prove otherwise is lovely.
Yeah. And on to our last news story for the evening, Movember. This is actually like a special segment / news story. And so Shaline and I have talked about before the show that we were going to pick our top 3. And the topic is mustaches. And in honor of Movember, We wanted to talk to you guys about the best video game mustaches as ranked. And so I've pulled up an article, a new article that was just written on Tuesday by Jim Norman over at Nintendo Life. And he goes on to talk about the best video game mustaches that are ranked. And then Shaline and I have also ranked our top 3. And
Okay, so I didn't realize we had an article to go over.
well, I
I
was
wonder if they'll have any of ours in
maybe they
here.
might. Can you take it? I need to go get a
Of
Halls.
course. So the F rank mustache is the president from Pikmin 2. And this article calls him follically challenged. Please shave immediately. It's this very disgusting bristly thing. It looks more like he's got something coming out of his nose than a proper mustache. Rank E, or okay, is Captain Charlie from Pikmin 3. He's got a very like French chef, tiny little mustache thing going on. It looks like eyebrows under his nose. The overall ranking is a 2 of 10. And we've got here Sparrowt in Skyward Sword. This character has got the strangest little mustache. It's just Zelda characters can be so bizarre looking. I love it. And combined with his bun, it's fabulous. He's wearing this ruff around his neck. It's amazing. So we've got the next one is Revolver Ocelot from Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes. And I feel like this is a little bit better than they are ranking it. I feel like this is a very sturdy mustache. The D rank mustache is Mario. And I feel like that is a controversial opinion. What do you do in Nintendo Life? Mario plainly has a very endearing mustache that he has carried through the entire career that he's had as a video game protagonist. It's yep. Indeed. Marv, 3 out of 10 is embarrassing. Goodness, how dare they? Marvin Grossberg from Ace Attorney is the next one in the list. And I think this is a fairly respectable mustache. I think it looks pretty good. I haven't. I want to. You're thinking probably of the Professor Layton games. So
That would be my mic, Sully. Is it better? Is it better now? Should be.
hopefully. The next one is the C rank mustaches. We have Professor Rowan from Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. This is a very messy attempt at a mustache. Not a fan. It looks like he's got lots of crumbs and maybe soup stains in it.
It's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing.
A 5 out of 10. And Wario also gets a 5 out of 10. And I will fight this one. Who did this? I will fight them.
I don't know. I feel like Wario and Waluigi and Mario are all sort of in the same class.
These fellows are iconic, and so are their mustaches. And how dare this guy? How very dare. I think he's jealous, plainly, of
Possibly.
the majesty that is Waluigi's upturned mustaches.
Yeah.
Yes. The next one is Matt from Wii Sports, and I didn't realize this guy had a name, but he's like the Wii Sports trainer. I love this dude.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember him from. Yes, he's so great. but his little mustache, I think it's much better than they're classing it. These people are too picky. The B rank mustaches, we have Probopass, who is a Pokemon of some kind, Pokemon Legends Arceus. This he just looks like he's got a bunch of trash stuck to him, really. And this they ranked higher than Mario's mustache. How dare you? And Dr. Wily has been ranked at this B tier, and that's an oversight. That he's got a great mustache. Okay. Now, this dude has ranked Luigi. He's the highest ranked of the Mario series, Luigi. I'm sorry, Luigi does not have a better mustache than his other counterparts in the series. This angers me, Thunder. I didn't think I'd get so angry tonight, but
Okay, continue.
the A rank mustaches. We have Talon from the Zelda series.
Can we just talk about how these characters resemble Mario and Luigi very closely?
They do. They're plainly modeled after Mario and Luigi.
Yes.
And that's so funny. It's so funny. I don't know why these people are silly. Dr. Robotnik is also rated here, and I think you'll agree with me, Vendor, that Dr. Robotnik is plainly the superior mustache on the list. Yes.
Agree.
The next one is Alakazam from Pokemon.
Oh, that's
I didn't realize this was a mustache. I thought that was like a, you know how fish have those little strings,
like the catfish.
Yeah,
the whiskers or whatever.
I had no idea that Alakazam's thing was a facial hair. So that's fascinating. 8.5. The S rank mustaches. We have Mr. EAD from F-Zero. I've never heard of this guy. But his mustache is glorious. It looks like the spoiler on a car.
It's pretty good.
It's a good mustache. Van Gare from Xenoblade Chronicles. I just made a bunch of Xenoblade fans real mad, I'm sure. I don't know how to say it, but it is a good mustache. But how are they ranking this so highly when Waluigi has the same mustache?
I don't know.
We had it before.
I don't know. Well, see, the reason I chose this article is because I knew it was going to make you furious. And and the best part, you played right into it. When I had to go get a Halls. Yeah.
It was a setup.
Carry on.
So this next one is Don Paolo from the original Professor Layton trilogy.
That's pretty good.
And I forgot about Don Paolo and his amazing mustache. And he has also this glorious winged eyeliner that follows the same, like a parallel course to his mustache. It's really good.
I love that you noticed that. Only you would notice that.
He's got a banging eyeliner wing. So
those are the 10 best whatever mustaches. I don't know what kind of scale they used to rank that.
They were plainly on drugs when they made this list.
So chat, you've got some ideas. What do you think are the best video game mustaches? Shaline and I have our top 3. Do you want to go first, Shaline, or do you want me to go?
Okay, are we counting 3 to 1?
Yes,
and then I have a couple of honorable mentions too.
Okay.
So my number 3 mustache in video games is Dutch Vanderland from the Red Dead Redemption series.
Oh, that's one of my honorable mentions. Yeah,
it's a good mustache.
My number 3 is actually Arthur Morgan in maximum stash mode.
Ooh.
Because you know how he grows it, right? Have you ever played Arthur Morgan ungroomed? It's out of this world. Like the stash is like it's like this. Have you seen it? We need to go look.
I don't think I have. I think we need to
Arthur Morgan max mustache. It's gonna be here somewhere.
Oh, this is brilliant.
Look at it.
Oh, that's my
ridiculous.
Heavens to Betsy. That's
I
marvelous.
can't make it any bigger.
That
Well,
is
maybe if I go to
marvelous.
Reddit, I can make it
It's
bigger.
wow, that is
Look at that.
magnificent.
It's just like,
Absolutely magnificent. It's got a bit of a Sam Elliott on steroids thing going on there.
it's like he put Miracle Grow on it
Oh,
every morning.
that is glorious. It's
Yeah.
it's
So,
just it's lush.
but Dutch Vanderlyn, I
What a
agree.
stash. What a
I do
stash.
agree. Dutch Vanderlyn is a
Mhm.
excellent choice for number 3. Yeah.
Yes.
What was your number 2?
My number two is Captain Price from Modern Warfare. Call of
Captain
Duty,
Price.
Modern Warfare, Captain Price. Yes, he has great mustaches. Um,
Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
it's a good mustache, isn't it?
Yeah, that's good. Let's
Yes. I wonder if Captain Price is still in the new Modern Warfare series because
for
I've played Modern Warfare 2, the
Captain
first
Price.
one. Yeah, it's a good mustache. Love it. Captain Price. Who's your number two?
My number 2 is Mario.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, valid choice.
Yeah.
Is there any particular iteration of Mario that's your favorite?
The OG Mario. Like the
Mm,
OG on the original Nintendo Mario.
right.
Cuz his mustache is just like 2 blocks, 2 pixels.
My
I do
favorite.
like him though in the on the Nintendo 64.
Yes, I was just about to call out the Nintendo 64 Mario where you can tug on his mustache in the menu
Yes.
screen.
Bring,
Brilliant.
bring, and you like pull
Love
it
it.
around and yeah.
Yes. It was so
I
fun.
remember
Spent
that
hours
now.
doing that as a child.
And his hat too. You do that? If you grabbed his hat, it moved his head around.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For me, the number one mustache in all of video gaming is the one, the only, the underrated Wario.
Oh,
Yes,
Wario.
yes, that little crimped mustache looks like he's stuck his finger in a light socket. It's just magnificent. It's
It's
really
so good.
Wario as a character is just so underrated in my opinion. I love him. He's great. I think he could take Mario any day of the week. One of my favorite games of all time was Wario Land on the Game Boy,
It's pretty dang
and
good. Yeah.
yeah, I just Wario. It's a magnificent mustache, and he
hmm
deserves more love than he gets.
Yep, I agree. My number 1, the man, the myth, the legend himself, is Dr. Eggman, Robotnik
Yes.
from Sonic the Hedgehog.
I will give you that, Vendor. I
Like,
think that is likely the
just,
finest mustache in gaming.
it's so good. I mean, like, look at it. Would you just look at it?
It's a thing of beauty. It's a thing of beauty.
But my honorable mention is actually, and it's more of like a general thing,
Hmm.
Deep Rock Galactic. Okay, let me tell you. This game has the biggest inventory of mustaches, sideburns, and beards I have
Really?
ever seen in any video game. Every single style of mustache that we've talked about in this article and our choices is in Deep Rock Galactic. It's wild. They have mustaches that go up like this. They have mustaches that go down like this. They've got like giant ones. They've got ones that go out to here and they're all like curly. They've actually
That
got
sounds
one that's like
wonderful.
it's like 2 strands of hair that like curls out like this.
Oh my
It's
goodness. That's
ridiculous.
great.
Yeah. So, Deep Rock Galactic, definitely some of the best mustaches I have seen. And you can color them too. You can change their
Mm.
colors, and it's just wild. There's actually this one helmet that you wear, and if your mustache is too big, it like sticks out underneath the helmet. It's so good.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Is that all your honorable mentions?
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, I have a couple of honorable mentions. I want to call out Sergeant Johnson from the Halo series.
Okay.
Yeah, I just the mustache cigar combo is a winner for Sergeant Johnson. And I also wanted to call out Sully from the Uncharted series. It's not a large mustache or an impressive mustache, but it is very well groomed, and I think he's lovely with his little mustache.
Love it.
So those are my honorable mentions.
Fun. What a fun segment. All right,
I enjoyed it.
let's jump right into the stocks. Shaline, do you want to take them? Okay,
Sure.
let's do that. Take it away.
The stocks are a bit up and down this time. We've got Sony at 74.59. That's up $6.74 since the last time we reported stocks, which was weeks ago because I forgot to do it every time that you weren't here, vendor. I failed over and
That's
over
okay
again.
because these
Yeah.
prices are calculated based on October 28th
Mhm.
comparison. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
it's all good.
Microsoft is sitting at $221.39. That is down $14.48. Nintendo is at $10.18, up 11 cents. That still freaks me out after they did the stock split. I can't get used to that. Take Two, 108.23. That is down $15.79. Activision is at $71.96. That is down 89 cents. Up $1.83 is Ubisoft at $27.79. EA closed at $129.76. That's up $1.52. And Tencent had some pretty tidy growth, closing at $30.89. That's up $5.06.
Nice.
Indeed.
Well, with stocks also follows mail.
You've got mail.
And Shaline, what's on our mail stack this week? I missed
Uh,
out last week. I think that you guys were talking about some Halloween stuff.
we did. We talked about a Halloween game. I am frantically scrolling back to find out where we need to be next.
Well, if you have some mail that you would like to ask us a question that we can talk about on the show, share a story. Maybe you were, in a race and you remembered that playing NASCAR 2005 when you were 8 years old would be your way to making it into the NASCAR championship, and you wanted to share that story with us, send us an email at info@wejustovegames.com. Or what people are finding to be an easier option is to go to our community Discord and post in the mail stack channel.
Okay. So our next mail comes from Jessica Starr.
Oh, really?
And Jessica writes, a game you played years ago that you feel like no one else has. Here's two. Hers are Shadow Madness, an RPG for PlayStation 1 from 1999, created by X-Square employees who had been doing English localizations of SNES games. Mostly it was supposed to be America's answer to Final Fantasy VII. But the overall graphics were subpar pixel art compared to other games, and the combat was so repetitive and a joke. However, the characters, plot, and writing were up there. I still remember lines from it sometimes. And the next one is Companions of Xanth, a mid-90s adventure game that followed the plot of Piers Anthony's Demons Don't Dream. Came out on PC and had so many puns, it was just wonderful. I still have the box after all these years. This is actually a follow-up to an RTZ post where he said a favorite game you played many years ago that you feel like nobody else played. But this spawned a whole conversation where people were responding with theirs. RMS Titanic posts a very, very appropriate game. Titanic Adventure Out of Time. It is a puzzle, exploration, and dialogue RPG on the Titanic.
Okay.
And it is available on Steam. And that was the RMS Titanic's childhood game. He says the soundtrack and dialogue choices are so much like Fallout 1 and 2, Shaline and Vendertron. I think you would love this. You have to ensure certain items are found to change the course of history. As a result, you can ensure World War 1 and 2 don't happen. And he would love it if we played and talked about this forgotten gem.
Oh my gosh. So did you look it up, or did you like...
No, I just looked at the information that he had posted here. He posted at the back of the box.
Okay.
And I thought that was really neat, but I haven't really delved any deeper into it than that.
Okay.
And we had a response from Sullivan Sevens Racing, who says two that he played that he feels like no one else have are a couple of horror games: Haunting Ground by Capcom and Obscure by Hydrovision Entertainment. I've never heard of either of these. How interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Moxie86 says that she loved Haunting Ground, and she appreciated that you could fight back instead of just hiding. And hers is Donald Duck's Playground, which she used to play on her uncle's computer. This was an action-packed game about change making for kids of all ages. This was a Commodore 64 game.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to find the game that I played so long ago.
That's great. That's
Um,
great. RTZ has posted another game and I don't recognize it. He just posted a screenshot. I've never played this one. I don't recognize it. It's got like a little dinosaur and a little yellow
let me
guy on
look.
it. It's very cute.
Let me look in the mail stack here.
Sullivan Sevens Racing points out the first PC game and video game he can remember playing, Spy Hunter.
I don't know what that game is.
Yeah, I don't recognize it.
There was this game that I used to play. My aunt and uncle had an original Nintendo, and when I went over there, I would always play their Nintendo because I didn't have a Nintendo. I had a Sega Genesis, and they had this weird game that nobody else, like, I've never seen it anywhere else, and I can't find it. I can't find it. It's gonna drive me nuts now. I'm gonna spend all night looking for it. But
Marakamole posted Donkey Kong Jr., which is not as common as some of the other Donkey Kong games.
yeah, Donkey Kong Jr. Did you ever play Michael Jackson on Sega Genesis?
No.
Dun, 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 and you gotta like moonwalk to like kill the bad guys.
I never had a
That's good.
Sega. I played at my brother's friends sometimes. He would take me along with him when he visited his friends, and I was like little. I didn't hang out with them, so I would get to play their Sega.
Yeah, yeah. For me, I think it would be that game. Also, Kid Chameleon. But I think a lot of people played Kid Chameleon. Like if we're trying to think of a game that I played that not a lot of other people played, like right? Like
Yeah.
you've played Kid Chameleon, haven't you?
I don't remember Kid Chameleon.
Oh,
No.
it's the best.
I'm trying to think of obscure games, and I don't. I'm not thinking of them just offhand.
One obscure game for me was Earthworm Jim.
See, I don't feel like that's very obscure. I feel like a
No?
lot of people have played Earthworm Jim. Yeah, I've definitely played Earthworm Jim.
I'm just scrolling through these Sega Genesis games to try to find the one game. Road Rash was another one I was addicted to with my cousin. We played it all the time.
So good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and continue reading the mail stack if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
So they've switched discussion topics back to the spooky games that we like to play.
Okay.
And RTZ stated that he wanted to play Pumpkin Jack and the Ghostbusters Remastered. So that sounds fun.
Oh.
Vodka Knockers said they recently started playing Back for Blood. I think I read this last week. That's my bad. But he's playing Back for Blood and State of Decay 2. I think I did read those last week. And RTZ asks, there's so many spooky and horror games coming out. Which ones will you not be playing? Scorn and Callisto Protocol can stay on the shelf for me. Vaccinator says they can no longer say they won't be playing Phasmophobia, which is in early access on Steam. And Scott5150 says Hunt Showdown is on his Halloween to playlist for its Halloween event. And same with Phasmophobia. The updates to Phasmophobia have been really good.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not a big horror game fan. So
I think Scorn looks absolutely horrifying. I think it would give me terrible nightmares, and I'm not going to play it. And that's the mail stack for this
That's
week.
the mail. Let's talk about what the community's playing.
Um,
What's up?
we did this one last week.
This image?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, let's just throw it up anyways, because I haven't seen them. I think these are
Okay.
great. So these images are
They're so
from
good.
Satyr exploring the backyard in Grounded. So you talked about these last week.
Mm-hmm.
Did you do this one?
I don't recall. I don't think so.
So this one is from Taz. He says morning view at base camp in Osiris New Dawn. And it's an image of him sort of presumably on the top of his space station looking out, and there's planets and the sun is rising. It's very nice. And he also sends this one, morning bike ride in 7 Days to Die. And he's like on a trail and the forest is like burnt away or something. It looks like it's burnt.
It's a hellscape.
There's like embers on the ground and stuff. It's great. This one is awesome.
Oh,
I just
love
it. So this is Taz again, and he posts this, and he said, found some teddy bears trying to go canoeing. And his spelling of canoeing is interesting. But yeah, it's great. It's these little teddy bears. There's 4 of them, and they all got little paddles, and it's great. Presumably, this isn't Fallout 76.
Could be Fallout 4 as well.
I don't think I've ever come across this in Fallout 4, though the graphics would indicate maybe it's Fallout 4.
I'm not sure which. Maybe that is 76.
This one here comes from Alex. She says mayhem in Borderlands 3 is absolutely hilarious. Headshots are easier because head size is increased. Basically makes for bobblehead characters, and it's
funny.
It's great. She's got a picture of they're in some sort of vehicle, like an off-road vehicle going through some water, and then in this next image is presumably what she was talking about, RE headshots.
The bobblehead character.
The giant head behind the gun.
That's so funny.
So good.
By the way, Taz does confirm that was 76.
It was 76. And then some Halloween pictures that we're catching up on. So RTZ, this is Pumpkin Jack. And he says, I haven't seen any screenshots for a while, so here's my follow-up on the Halloween-themed games. A great 3D platformer, lighthearted. You are the hero of a darkness, but seems like everyone wants to be in your way. You have a lovely crow companion who doubts every decision. And can you describe this image for audio listeners?
One moment. Okay. This is in a dark and spooky forest with a very green hue. And your character either has a pumpkin head or a pumpkin hat. I believe it's a pumpkin head. And a glowing sword standing on a pathway. Something about this aesthetic reminds me a little bit of the Fable series.
Yeah. And he also posted 2 other ones. This one
that's great. Definitely a pumpkin head. Yes.
This one of the front side of his character. And then this one in a different landscape. It's very
this
purpley.
One's hued purple instead of green. It is still a very acidy shade of purple, much as the green was an acidy shade of green.
And then the next set of images from RTZ is from Lost in Random. And
I find this game intriguing. I thought about picking this one up.
He said he got the game on sale recently. It is a great Tim Burton-esque fairy tale in a dark world where you play a girl called Even, trying to find your kidnapped sister, Odd. So even and odd. And it looks like the world is built around like games and like odds. Yeah, so like there's it's dice,
like dice,
and there's like a D&D dice I see there, and then this image here shows like teapots or something. I'm not sure.
I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. And then this last image, which I think is great, I presumably is the sisters.
Even and odd, yeah.
Yeah, and they have a little cupcake. It's very cute. And then there is a last image, but it's all the way on the other end. It's this one here, which she's standing on a floor of dice and a wall of dice, and it looks very castle-y. I'm getting like Alice in Wonderland vibes.
Very much.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
So, if you want to send in some screenshots and stories, you are more than welcome to post them in our screenshots and stories channel in the Discord. And and we'll share them on the show.
That was great. I love this segment.
Let's talk about what we're playing. And do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
I can go first this time. Mine is pretty simple and straightforward. I haven't had a ton of time to play. I feel like that's become a theme for me. Why am I on a gaming podcast when I don't have time to play a video game? I've still been playing a bunch of Fallout Shelter. The completionist bug has bitten me with Fallout Shelter. I started to play those new quests, and I played through the new quests, and I just kept on playing because there were a bunch of entries in the log that I didn't have, a bunch of new weapons and outfits and stuff that I don't have.
Yeah.
And I must have them. I must fill in those gaps. I have to. So I've been working on that and just running quests and sending out dwellers to explore the wasteland and having a lot of fun with Fallout Shelter. And I really like that the stakes are low and it's something that I can do with very little brain, because I haven't had a lot of brain power left at the end of the last few days.
Fallout Shelter is one of those games that you can play kind of mindlessly.
Yeah. It's been fun.
That's why I play a lot of sim games, because it's mindless. It's you shut your brain off. So
of course, I'm still playing 76, trying to keep up with the homework, and I'm at rank 87, I believe, on the scoreboard. Archin has completed the scoreboard on 2 different platforms now, on both Xbox and PC. That absolute madman. There are a couple of timed challenges happening. There is an anniversary event where they're giving out some free items, and there's a Halloween event. So I'm trying to keep up with those. And I was traveling last week, so I missed 1 week of them, and that was annoying. But I have enjoyed hanging out in Fallout 76, doing the challenges, and same old, doing some expeditions. I'm still enjoying that. And I'm still running into new encounters in the White Spring, and that's been very fun. I really like running into these random strangers in the White Spring, and
even though they
stories.
Like totally destroyed it for you.
Yes, I'm very mad that they redecorated.
Redecorated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it has been fun running into people and talking to them. So
that's good.
That's pretty much it for my gameplay.
I mean, I didn't get up to any gameplay either because I've been traveling, but I can share with you some of my experience and some show and tell. I did queue up some photos of my IRL life vacation simulator. So as you know, or for those of you who don't know, I have spent the last couple of weeks in Copenhagen in Denmark, which is a small country just west of Sweden. No, Sweden? Yeah. North of Germany. And I was there for a conference for 5 days, and then I spent an additional 6 or 7 days just sort of wandering around doing my own thing. But I had some of the worst jet lag ever. It was so bad. I thought I was dying. It was just awful. I got off this 8-hour flight, and I had to catch a train from the airport to my hotel, but I had to walk from the train station to my hotel with my luggage on the cobblestone, and I get to the hotel, and I'm so sweaty, and I'm so hot, and I had too many layers on, and I didn't take any layers off, and then I started overheating, and I was jet lagged, and I was it was not good. Anyways, the first few days were pretty rocky, but I got through the conference. And then once the conference was over, I decided to rent a vehicle and drive to the southern part of Denmark to these famous cliffs called Moonsklint. And they're these geological formations. It's actually an UNESCO World Heritage Site. And the thing is that this is how the island of Denmark was basically formed, was through these cliffs. They're very similar to the cliffs of Dover. I was holding a meteorite. They had a little
Oh,
museum
wow.
inside.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and so you could like hold this meteorite. That was pretty cool.
That's really neat.
And so as we were walking down, I grabbed a picture of this cool tree.
It's a great tree.
But these are the cliffs.
Okay.
And so they're like very grandiose, and like it's all chalk. It's just white chalk. And then in the cliffs are fossils, and you can actually like, you can pick the fossils and just take them because there's so many of them.
Wow.
Yeah. So actually,
Did you pluck a fossil?
I have a couple of. When I went through the security in Toronto, they pulled my bag aside, and the lady was like, she's like, "Do you have rocks in your bag?" I'm like, "Yes, I do." This was my rock that I brought back from.
Okay. That's a great rock.
Yeah. So it's actually like the white part is the chalk of the cliff, but within the cliffs themselves, there's flint. So this black stuff is flintstone.
Beautiful.
And
Flintstone.
yeah.
The Flintstone.
So those are the cliffs, and I was just sort of like, I did a hike. Actually, I did a 9-kilometer hike along the coast, which was incredible.
So happy.
Yeah, it was awesome. And just being by the ocean, by the Baltic Sea. Yeah, it was very cool. And then I did a tour of the medical museum.
Oh, look at that old book.
And so this is a book written in 1582 by Hippocrates, and it is about the Hippocratic Oath, which was
marvelous.
So cool to see. And I saw this really cool church. This is called Frederickskirk Cathedral or something.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was really pretty. And then I toured a castle called Rosenborg Castle. I just plucked just a few images from each place, but I took hundreds and hundreds of images.
On the fresco on the ceiling are looking down and judging me.
Yes, and it's like it's painted in 3-dimensional, so it looks like they're it was kind of, I took a picture of that, but this was kind of a cool castle, and in the very top of the castle was the throne chamber. And the ceiling in there was just incredible. I mean, look at the ceiling.
This is magnificent.
It's just like the detail on it is just crazy. Yeah.
I'm blown away.
It was so pretty. And there's like castles and palaces all over the place in Copenhagen, and you can just like walk in and get a ticket. This is one of the famous sort of shots in Copenhagen that you'll often see on a lot of websites or postcards and things like that. It's like this famous canal, and it's called Nyhavn. And there's like all these little restaurants and stuff, and you can stay in hotels there and stuff. It's really expensive though. And this is Amalienborg Palace, where the royal family currently resides. This part of the palace is actually accessible by the public, and you can go in and do tours. So I was inside there. And then perhaps my favorite was I took a train to northern Denmark, and I toured this castle called Frederiksborg Castle. And the castle is built, it's situated on a moat, and it actually burnt down almost entirely in the early 1800s. And it burnt in the winter. And because the moat was frozen, they didn't have any water to put the fire out, so most of the castle was destroyed. Anyways, it was funded by Carlsberg Brewery to be restored, and it's now a museum. But when I was there, it was there on an off day, and I actually ended up basically having the whole castle to myself.
That's so neat.
It was awesome. And they had this little app that, like, so when you ventured into different rooms, you could just play the recording for that specific room, and it would tell you about the paintings and the furniture. And I was just there by myself, creeping through this castle by myself. It was so cool. Of course, there was like staff around and stuff, and the odd person, but it was like virtually empty the whole time.
Yes.
It was so,
Look at those parquet floors.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So these are
Wonderful.
just some really nifty rooms. This is an organ in the cathedral in the castle.
Bender, it's
Look at
gorgeous.
this organ. Like, it's just crazy. That's the cathedral on the inside.
How magnificent.
It's just crazy. I have never seen anything like that. And then I toured the gardens, of course, which was lovely also. You always want to check out the gardens. So actually, I don't know if you can see it. Let me show you here. I'll zoom in. So this is the castle, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this part of the castle right here is the only part that didn't burn down.
Okay, so the rest of it's new
So all of
construction.
this is rebuilt in the late 1800s. I mean,
Fascinating.
it's still really old, right? But
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And then I also toured on the final day Christiansborg Palace, which is like the big palace. It's where the government has all their state dinners and the
Mm-hmm.
royal family and stuff. And this was very opulent. So yeah, it was kind of cool. I got to
That's
see
great.
some grand staircases of that, and these beautiful, beautiful rooms with the tapestries are just wild. Um, yeah. Red velvet room, of course, because why wouldn't you have a red velvet room?
Mm-hmm.
And this was the grand like ballroom, and they had all of these tapestries, and like there was like depictions of like Canada and the United States, and like specific
Wow.
stories within the tapestries about how they played a role in Copenhagen's history, or in
Interesting.
Denmark's history. Yeah, it was really cool. I think Obama's face is like on this one over here or something like that. It's kind of funny. And then I topped things off with lunch at this Glyptotech Museum, which is like basically all sculptures.
I am so surprised to see palm trees in Denmark.
Well, this is inside, of course, in like a
Mm-hmm.
garden like thing
Still,
inside, but
I don't think of palm trees when I think of Denmark.
yeah, yeah,
Ah, this guy looks like he left the oven on.
yeah. No, my French fries. But yeah, the statues were,
Mm-hmm.
that was a cool experience because I've been to museums and I've seen a lot of cool things in museums, but you never go to just a statue museum.
Yeah, that's
And
really
like
cool.
when you're in the room with these statues, they come alive.
Can you zoom in on this one a bit?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so
Okay, so that's Athena and Medusa.
yes, correct. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I thought that's what it depicted, but I
Yes, I
wasn't
also
sure.
really loved this one as well, which is like the Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very intense. Ironically, across from the Jesus statue.
Yeah,
But yeah, it was beautiful.
it's really great.
Hmm.
This is so neat.
Anyways, that's what I was up to lately. I didn't get any gaming done. Actually, when I was back though this week, I played quite a bit of American Truck Simulator. No, excuse me, European Truck Simulator (ETS2),
Right.
because when I missed it, so I wanted to
You
drive
had
through
to go.
Denmark. I had
That
to go
was the way to
back.
go back.
I had to go back. But there's also like a Halloween thing that going on. So if you finish 13 halls of Halloween treats, you unlock like this little dashboard Halloween pumpkin thing or whatever.
Oh,
So
fun.
it's stupid. Yeah. Anyways, that's what I've been up to. And next week we won't have a show, so we're sorry, but we will be back the following week, I believe.
Hmm.
And then I'm traveling in December for Christmas, from the 17th to the 14th of January. But I should be able to tune in for a show, but I won't be able to
Okay,
drive. So, but we'll have to figure that out.
I can do it.
Hmm. So that's a show. Any announcements, Shaline? Plugs or announcements?
I've got nothing.
So don't forget, the show is sponsored by Oak and Crow Coffee. If you head on over to oakandcrow.com, you can pick up a bag of We Just Love Coffee blend, and $2 from every bag goes to the Children's Miracle Network. You can also send us some mail by going to the mail stack in the Discord or emailing us at info@wejustlovegames.com. You can find us on Twitter at We Just Love Games, at Shaline L, at VendertronN. Also, we are on Facebook, facebook.com/We Just Love Games, facebook.com/group/We Just Love Games. And we're on Discord. So if you're listening live, scroll down right below on our Twitch page, twitch.tv/We Just Love Games. And the Discord link is there for you to hop right into. We record the show live every Friday, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, right here on twitch.tv/We Just Love Games. Don't forget, if you are listening after the fact and you want to listen to the podcast elsewhere, you can find us on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, any other podcast platform you can think of. Please like, subscribe, and review if you can, and we will shout you out. Thank you all for listening. Shaline, have you got a last word?
I must ask you a question.
Good night, everyone.